Now this is the wrestling video that I was talking about. There's two issues that I want to talk about today. One in WWE and one in TNA. Now I'm going to talk about TNA first. So fast forward if you want to hear about the WWE. TNA, there's a new ranking system introduced by Eric Bischoff last week on Impact. This ranking system is going to give the top 10 wrestlers, and the number 1 wrestler, I think, is going to face the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, whatever you call it over there. Now, I don't think they realized that way back, there was a show on WWE that was web only called Bite This. Bite This was a show that mainly was interaction with the fans. But in the long run, it looked like it was too much interaction. Because they introduced something on that show where a fan could call in and talk to a wrestler. Not a major wrestler, but like one in the middle, like middle card wrestler, so to speak. Now, for the first few shows of that feature, it turned out alright. But then, people started calling in and spamming that they would say something like, TNA is so much better than WWE, and hang up. After a couple of those times, WWE decided to cancel Bite This. Now, if Eric Bischoff or if anybody over in TNA remember that, I don't think they would have introduced that ranking system. Because if WWE fans go over to TNA, I know they will, because TNA came over to WWE a couple of years ago and they want to take their revenge. They will go over to TNA and spam that voting poll. A couple of weeks down the line from now, we'll probably see a TNA knockout be number 1, and, well, that's a diva for you WWE only fans. That diva, that knockout, will face the World Heavyweight Champion in TNA, and that is Rob Van Dam. And I don't know what they're going to do. It's going to go good for the first couple of weeks, and then it's just going to crash, I think. Or it might just crash because I'm saying it in this video, and then you WWE crazy people will go over to TNA and do what I said. But please don't, because they will come and chop my head off. Okay, now here's the WWE part. The WWE part is, so the draft was last week. The draft was last week. The major WWE draft. You got John Morrison, R-Truth, Chris Jericho, and Edge coming to Raw. They were on SmackDown. John Morrison and R-Truth were the biggest mid-carders on SmackDown, and you send them over to Raw. Chris Jericho and Edge was the main feud on SmackDown, and you send them over to Raw. And guess who they sent to SmackDown? Big Show, Michelle McCool, and I don't even remember. But tell me, what? Now I'm thinking they're putting SmackDown on Sci-Fi. They're probably going to cancel Next. So the rookies from Next are probably going to go over to SmackDown. So, in saying that, the mentors of the rookies will probably also be on SmackDown. So I'm thinking that they're integrating Next into SmackDown. That's why they're sending all the great SmackDown wrestlers onto Raw. Because they think that they'll have enough substantious, whatever, over there on SmackDown to make it good enough for people to watch. Now that, I don't know if that will turn out good, because they got all the SmackDown good people, the great wrestlers on SmackDown, the great people that needed a push, brought them over to Raw and pushed them. Now, what are you going to do with SmackDown? You're canceling Next. You're going to make SmackDown go down in the dust. And you're going to be only Raw. What are you doing, WWE? The same thing with TNA. I'm sorry, but those are the two issues that I have right now. I needed to tell you. Thanks for watching. And rate, comment, subscribe, and see you later.